Join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter with Good Day Dakota.
It's 6:45. Welcome back.
The impact of a hurricane can be felt for decades, and with human life and billions of dollars at stake every year, the question is always asked, can we stop or weaken a hurricane?
New this morning, meteorologist Amber Wheeler is here to explain what has been done in the past to modify hurricanes in an attempt to save lives. Good morning, Amber.
Well, Tim and Alicia, government and even private sector scientists have tried numerous experiments to weaken hurricanes to limit the damage to life and property. The idea is that if we know the ingredients of a hurricane, we can alter them or possibly diminish them. But it's not that easy. Here are a few ideas that have been explored. The one that made the news lately, dropping a nuclear bomb into a hurricane. Now, this has been an idea the government has actually tossed around for decades, many decades ago, really. According to NOAA, the energy released in a hurricane is the equivalent to a 10 megaton nuclear bomb going off every 20 minutes, or one going off basically 72 times a day. So you can see why one nuclear bomb wouldn't be enough to impact these monstrous storms. That's also not taking into consideration the human and environmental impacts of the radiation carried through the trade winds and basically impacting the ocean as well. We're looking at a lot of impact to human life that could do more damage to lives than the actual hurricane would do itself. Another attempt at controlling a hurricane was through cloud seeding, something many North Dakotans here are familiar with. From the mid-1960s to the early 1980s, scientists seeded some eye walls of certain hurricanes. The idea was that a new eye wall could form, essentially strangling the old eye wall and stunting the hurricane's growth or even weakening it. There wasn't enough concrete evidence that this was working since eye wall replacement happens all the time in hurricanes. There wasn't a way of knowing whether it was from the seeding or from natural formation, so that was essentially dropped many decades ago. Another idea that hasn't been tested yet is called the Salter sink theory, named after the man who invented it. It's a contraption that would bring cooler water from deep into the ocean to the top, cooling the surface of the ocean and weakening the hurricane. Remember, the eye of the hurricane is the engine and the hot water is like the fuel. The problem? Well, you'd have to have the placement just right in front of the hurricane. They're very expensive. They cost billions every year, and they haven't been getting a lot of funding or adequate testing because there isn't a lot of folks who are really believing in this idea. It works great on paper, but with backers like Bill Gates, this method may be something you might hear about in the future. Tim and Alicia, I think the takeaway here is that hurricane modification has been attempted for decades, and we just haven't found anything that works. I think Mother Nature is going to do what she wants to do, and if we ever find anything that does work, I think it will make breaking news headlines for years to come. It would be an amazing thing if we could. We just have not yet so far.
Well, have we ever attempted setting up fans all along the coast and just blowing it the other direction?
You should submit that idea yourself and then tell me what they say.
Some high-powered fans.
I'll do a weatherwise on that if they take it seriously.
Bill Gates, I hope you're watching. Got your billion-dollar idea right here.
Well,
Thanks,
thank you, Amber. When we return on Good Day Dakota.